Good morning, students. My name is Reema Jeevan. I am dealing community health nursing. Unit number 2, community health nursing. So here in the last classes and we has learned about the what is community health nursing, what are the philosophies, principles, goals, objectives, importance, and second section is qualities of a community health nurse and the functions of a community health nurse. Okay, then now we are learning about the community nursing process. So last class we has started for learning the assessment, what is an assessment and all, and here this is the topic, it's a continuation for the last class. Okay, so last class we has learned about the nursing process, the element. So first one we has learned is planning of data collection. This is today we are going to learn is second one, that is data collection. It's a systematic approach to gather information from a variety of sources to get a complete and accurate picture of an area of interest, that is community. So we are gathering all the, that is collecting all the information of data which was there in the community area, maybe either with the help of some of the helpers or directly we will be collecting the informations. So next one is steps in data collection. So there are 8 steps in data collection. So first one is define the community to be studied. Second one, set tentative community goals. Third one, determining specific information, that is categorizing we are doing. Then fourth one is identify the population and sampling unit. Fifth one is sample size and sampling method we have to do. And sixth one is decide methods and instruments. Then seventh one is develop the instruments or the tools. Eighth one is organize and conduct the service. So these are the steps of data collection. So first of all we should define the community when you are before studying that one, and second one is we should set a goal wherever you are going for the community area. Third one, you should get categorizing some of the information from the community area. The fourth one is identify the population and the sampling unit, and how much is the sample size, population size and all we should go for seeing, and which is the method we are using for taking the sample method. The sixth one is which are the methods we are using for the data collection, instruments which is using, and how to go for developing a tools and organize the surveys. Then third one is data analysis. Is the third one. It's a process of extracting, compiling and modeling draw data for the purpose of obtaining constructive information that can be applied to formulating the conclusion, predicting outcome or supporting the decisions. So data analyzing is the analysis or checking of data which was gathered from the community from a constructive information or a formulative informations and all. So we should get a supported decisions for the collection of data. Then there are certain phases are there in the data analysis. The first one is data categorization, second one is data summarization, third one is draw interferes, fourth one is reporting of the findings. So in the data categorizing, we will be categorizing each and every data which was collected from the community area. After categorizing, we should go for giving summaries to each categories. And third one, we should draw interference. So what is the link between the information which was taken from the community area? You should make a comparisons. And fourth one is reporting all the findings, whatever the findings which was collected according to the base of the categorization, you should report and record. Next one is compelling and analysis of data. So here we are doing some coding, key punching, the organization and arranging the data for tallying and compiling. Then presenting the data from the tally sheet into the tables, and some graph representative we can able to go for doing with the help of the descriptive analysis. Then we can do the some statistical analysis, interpretation of data, reporting of findings. The next one is community. So the fourth element is community profile and diagnosis. So in this diagnosis we will be seeing the data which was there for the health needs and health problems from the interpretation of data collections and the community diagnosis. So these are the 4 points which is coming under the elements. So first one we has learned in the last class, that is planning of data collection. Second one is we have started for learning, that is data collection. It's a gathering of data which was taken from the community area. So certain subject we has learned. And then third one is data analysis. We are giving some of the obtaining of some of the information for the interpretation of some content from the communities. And we has learned here what are the phases, then completing an analysis of data, and the fourth one we has learned is community profile and diagnosis. Here we are learning about the health needs and health problems which is collected from the community side and the community diagnosis. So now we will be learning what is a community diagnosis. Community diagnosis is a vital and statistic point from which a community health nurse has to proceed as a team leader to solve a community health problems or a problem and to provide the helpful living condition to the community. So here diagnosis, which is making to understand what is the health status of the people and what is the health problem in a community and how to solve the problems in a community. So as per the iceberg phenomena, so what is community health? Community health diagnosis means it is described as a situation in which a large percentage of a problem is subclinical, unreported and otherwise hidden from the view. Thus only the tip of the iceberg is apparent to the epidemiologist, that is whichever superficial area is or the tip of the iceberg is measured towards the disease conditions and all. So we'll see what is iceberg phenomena. So we can see about the picture. So here the ice cube is divided as two parts. One is above the water level and below the water level. So 10% we can see the above the water, that is visible cases we can see, and 90% that is invisible, it is under the water area. So it indicating that invisible cases. So 90% of the cases are invisible, only the 10% which can able to visible. Okay, so that is 10% only they are exhibiting the clinical features and the trait, everything will be there. Then 90% cases are invisible cases, that is asymptomatic in action, that is they won't be showing any of the clinical features or signs and symptoms. So that is iceberg phenomena. So we'll see what is iceberg phenomena is describing the subclinical, unreported or otherwise hidden from the view. So only the tip of the iceberg of the apparent is epidemiology. So it is a disease condition we can able to see. So here in the picture it is ice cube, it is there in the water only. So inside the water 90% is there, 10% is above the water level. So when you are seeing a ice inside the which was floating in the water, so only little part only we can able to see directly and remaining part will be there under the water only. So here iceberg phenomena, it states that 90% cases are under the water, that is invisible cases we will be calling, and whichever part we can able to see, that is we are calling as a visible cases. So here in the visible cases you can able to understand or observe the clinical features and all, and but in case of 90%, that is invisible cases, most of the people they won't be showing any of the symptoms or signs and symptoms or clinical features. So that's about the planning. So the planning we has learned, assessment, community assessment, we has learned about the certain elements. There are 4 elements is there. First one is planning of data collection. Last class we has learned, and today we have started for learning about the data collection is the second element of community assessment. Third one is data analysis, and the fourth one is community profile. So here we are going to learn about the next phase, that is planning phase. So planning phase is based upon the community diagnosis only. Purpose is to determine the causes of action to meet the health needs. Then third one is to resolve the health problems. So there are 3 purposes for the planning phase. So it is based upon the community diagnosis only. The purpose is to determine the course of action and to meet the health needs and to resolve the health problems. And community health planning means it's a systematic process which involves the logical decision making at each step of its process. So here the process is 4 steps are there. So first one is analysis, second one is establishing the priority, third one is setting the goals and objectives, fourth one is formulating of community action plans. So the community health planning, which will be including the 4 steps, will be there. So first one, analysis of diagnosed health problem. Second one, establishing the priorities. Fourth one is formulation of community action plan, and the third one is setting goals and objectives. So first one we will be learning, so analysis of diagnosed health problems. So in that one, clarifying the nature and the extent of the problem, so we can able to analyze the patient condition, current situation, and how long it was there the problem, how much, what is the nature and characteristic of the particular problem, and we can able to clarify. And second point is it requires the further collection of some specific information known as second level assessment. So here we can able to see the second level assessments and all. Second one is establishing the priority. So first one we has learned is the analysis of diagnosed health problems. So here we can able to understand and clarify the nature and characteristic, or how long it will be extension of the health problems, we can able to understand. Second one is establishing the priorities. Here it refers to ranking of the health problems and necessary because of limited sources. So here 3 M's will be there. So here is a criteria for ranking problems. So it's a establishing of priorities means ranking will be there. So which one is the first one, second one, nursing cares and all. So first some criteria will be there for creating the ranking problems and all. So first one is types of health problems, second one is extent of problems, third one severity of sequences of problem, fourth one silences, fifth one preventive potential, sixth one is modifiable of the problems. So what are the criteria for taking problems? So one by one we'll be learning. Those there are 6 criteria are there. First one, type of health problem, second one is extent of problems, third one is severity of consequences of the problem, fourth one silences, and fifth one preventive potential, and sixth one is modifiability of the problems. So first one we are going to learn, that is type of health problems. So there are 3 types are there as per the Ruth Freeman. So first one is health deficit, second one is health threats, and fourth one is forcible crisis points. So we'll learn first of all the health. What is health deficit? In that one, health deficit, we are giving the explanation of illness stage, and what about the failure to thrive, disability, amputations. Okay, second one is health threats. So in this one we will be going for learning about what is family history, hereditary diseases, faulty eating habits, unhealthy lifestyles, and threat to cause of infections. And C section, it is forcible crisis point, means it consisting of marriage, pregnancy, parenthood, divorce, loss of job, and death. So these are the 3 points which will be coming under the type of health problems. Then next second one is extent of problem. So extent of prevalence, or it become as high or low, we will be seeing depending upon the number of the peoples affected, timing of prevalence, series of the problems who are all affected by the community health diseases, everything will go for seeing under the extent of problems. Third one is severity of consequences of problems, how serious it is, what about the significant about the particular condition in a community, what is the nature, what is the magnitude, what is the characteristic of the diseases, disease health problem, what is it is associated with the mortality, morbidity, disability, that is death rate, disease rate, then disability rate, what about the injury, accidents, violence, crime associated with the problem. So these are the things we will be checking towards the history of the severity of consequences of the problem. So serious, how it was serious, what about the nature, characteristic, magnitude, so what about the associated towards maybe as death rate, disease rate, disability rate, injury, how extent it was injured, and all we will be seeing in the third point. Fourth one is saliences. It refers to the community's perceptions and evaluation of problems in the term of seriousness, then urgency and attention needed. So what is saliences means? It is about the receiving, community participation as well as the receiving or evaluation of the problems in the terms of seriousness. Fifth one is preventability, prevention in potential of problem, preventable problem, we should take some measures and all. Sixth one is modifiability of the problems, so whether the problem can be resolved or possibility of resolving the problem depends upon the availability of the resources. So we are seeing here modifiability of the problem, so we can able to, so how we can able to modify the nursing cares to solve the problems and all, and what are the resolutions are there to go for making the health condition to be as a strong, and what are the available resources which is present in the community for giving the care to solve the problems. And there are 3 points of rating scales are prepared to evaluate each problems, so we'll see. So that's the second point, finish. And the third one is setting the goals and objectives. So what is a goal means? So planning was finished. So in the planning we has learned about, see here, in the planning analysis we has learned. Second one is establishing the priorities. So now you are going to learn about the setting the goals and objectives. So next one is setting the goals and objectives. In that one, the goals, it is a goal means an aim or a desired changes we can able to make, for it refers towards the community diagnosis. And goals and objectives is not give directly direction and determine the relevant actions, but also helps in sustain and evaluating the actions planned and implemented. So if once you are diagnosed the condition, we can able to make a goal, that is to solve the problems and all. So there is some characteristic as there for the good objectives, and also always we are calling as a SMART. S4, so it's a letter SMART. So S stands for specific, that means target. Then M is measurable, that means results. A means achievable, that is within the available resources. R means relevant. T means time bounded, which is achieved within the specific time period. So it is having the characteristics. Setting a goal, and setting a goal means it is having certain characteristics. Always we are calling as a SMART. So each letter is having their own wording is there. So S stands for specific, that means target. M is measurable results. A is achievable within the available resources. R is relevant, and T for time bounded, that is a specific time period. So and the last one is formulation of the community action plan. So in the formulation of community action plan, it's an important step in the nursing process to identify of approximate or effective community health and the nursing intervention or strategies, and preparing an operational plan to be implemented to achieve the established goal and objectives. So here we can able to identify the appropriate and effective community health nursing for formulating an operational plan to achieve the goals and objectives. So here some criteria for the formulation of community action plan. So there are 6 points are there. First one is agency policy. Second one is resources available. Third one is nature of the problem, health problem. Fourth one is community interest and feasibility. Fifth one, competency of health personnel. And sixth one is practicability and efficiency. So we'll see the next step. So here we has learned about the criteria. There are 6 criteria for the formulation of community action plan. First one, agency policy. Then second one is resources available. Third one is the nature of the problem, and fourth one is community interest and feasibility. Then fifth one is competency of the health person, and the sixth one is practicability and efficiency. So next one is steps 4, developing the community action plan. So first point is opening or introduction and socialization. Second one is social environmental mapping and financing. And third one is identifying the problems, needs and resources potentials. And fourth one is determining the priority in needs. Fifth one is formulating the choice of strategies. Sixth one, formulating the implementation plan. Seventh one, formulating the monitoring and evaluation plan. Eighth one is implementing monitoring and evaluation. So we'll learn one by one. There are steps they are given here. So there is 8 steps are there. So we will be learning one by one. The first step is opening, means introduction and socialization. That means we can able to understand the importance of good action plans and all, of introduction part and all. Second one is social environmental mapping and financing. That is, we can develop a social cultural systems and making a cleaned map and picture of the problems and in a priority wise. Third one is identify the problems and needs and resources potential. So actual problem and available financial resources we should understand in this situation. Fourth one, determining the priority in the needs. So ranking according to the urgency and their importance you should make. So priority wise means they can able to, so which care we can give the first one, second one, third one. So ranking wise we can able to give the cares. Then fifth one is formulating the choice of strategies. So here more feasible strategy or approaches we can able to develop for the formation of choice of strategies. Sixth one is formulating the implementation plan. Here we can able to schedule and divide the task and all for implementation plan. Seventh one, formulating the monitoring and evaluation plan. That is format the evaluation. So we can monitor, check out all the formed how we can able to formulate and evaluate the plans and all. Eighth one, implementing, monitoring and evaluation, carrying out actions and at the same time monitoring and evaluation. So implementing time, monitoring. So implementing time, action phase, then monitoring means checking, and after once you are checking we can able to understand so what is the result of the particular actions. So that's about the steps. So we'll go for once more. There are 8 steps are there: opening, then social environment, mapping and financing, identify the problem, needs and social potential. Fourth one, determining the priority in needs and formulating the choice of strategies. Sixth one, formulating the implementation plan. Seventh one, formulating the monitoring and evaluation plan, and eighth one is implementing, monitoring and evaluation.